want to watch it. I haven't seen it. So here's George Galloway addressing Rishi Sunak on the Israeli destruction of Iranian embassy. This was today, apparently. So you guys see why I want to see this? I haven't seen it. You want to react to it with me, you guys? Let's watch it.
Let's do it.
Baker, I knew your father well for a very long time. He was a fine man, and I am sincerely sorry for your loss. There was not one single word in the Prime Minister's statement of condemnation of the Israeli destruction of the Iranian consulate in Damascus, which is the proximate reason for the event everyone is here in concert condemning. He was not even asked to do so by the front bench opposite. Kay Burley is the only person so far to demand that of a government minister. We have no treaty with Israel, at least not one that Parliament has been shown. And the Iranians are not likely to listen to him. When Britain occupied Iran, looted its wealth, and overthrew its one democratic socialist government in my own lifetime.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I got a lot to say, but I'll let it finish. I think he finished his point. Can you actually, no, I'll let it finish.
Mr. Speaker, whatever may have happened a few weeks ago, it is absolutely no justification for launching more than 300 drones and missiles from one sovereign state towards Israel. It's as simple as that. And in the honourable gentleman's...
Can you pause it there? So he's basically saying you could do whatever the fuck...
wasn't it?
Yeah, you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. There's no... This is... To hear this sort of Western chauvinist perspective of we could do whatever the fuck we want, but you cannot retaliate. Basically, the Nat Turner rule, like you can't do shit. You can't do shit in the retaliation of my atrocities against you. But to hear it come from this brown face, to me, is the 2000. This is what the empire and white supremacy now has taken the form of these people, Nick, of black and Obama was another face of black and brown people literally, and Karine Jean-Pierre is another one, literally speaking against in some instances your own people, and it's just bizarre. But the other bigger point I wanted to make, could you imagine, Nick, if we had this in the United States?
We were thinking the same thing, bro.
Where Joe Biden would have to come up here and somebody says something, he had to get up. Could you imagine if we had just this? I would just love to have as a difference in the governmental style. But go ahead, Nick, if you were gonna.
We was working. We had the same kind of take here because once again, this is what I call a live segment. We both watched this for the first time, not playing. And my first reaction was like, well, obviously, in response to the Prime Minister, I made this quick. Obviously, he lied. This Article 51, we just covered Scott Ritter. When you're attacked, you have the right to retaliate. So that's a lie. They've been openly lying to their people, saying that Iran don't have the right to defend themselves, even though they say an occupying apartheid state does. Now, to back up your point, this is what I'm also going to lead with in my response. You guys see we have very similar to response to a video we just seen, because it apparently just happened not too long ago. For one, can you imagine our country actually debating issues like this? I know, like, UK got 1,000 problems. This is not UK apology at all, my friends. Please don't fucking misunderstand what I'm saying. I am saying how cooked we are, because we wouldn't even be able to elect this motherfucker. Think about this for a second. In the UK, they was able to elect George Galloway. Now do you guys see why socialists and leftists in Europe may take electoral politics a little more seriously? Because despite all criticism and legit criticism of the UK system, they got a system that you can elect this guy. Right. The only people we are electing is AOC, a CIA pre-planned product. We are not getting anything near George Galloway in this country, and if we do, they're gonna fucking kill him. They will rig the process. This is why the thesis of RBN is that electoral politics is a waste of time in this country. Like there's so much we got to build up. At least in other countries, they can get victories through electoral politics because George Galloway is an open socialist. He calls himself a socialist, open anti-imperialist. And look at what he said, calling out the UK and their imperialism. I want to play the clip again because I also I need to refresh my memory as well, to be honest. Let's watch it again. I'm going to continue my thought because listen to what he says and realize that you would never, ever get Bernie Sanders and AOC say stuff like this. When you hear George Galloway criticize the intelligence agencies, criticizing the Ukraine war, we would never get a politician like this in the United States. Anyway, so I actually want to watch it again. I want to react to some of the hard-hitting arguments that Galloway was making, and then we can wrap up. This is not going to be a long segment because it was a live segment. And then I'll pass to you, CJ, if you have anything you want to share before I leave.
So, Speaker, I knew your father well for a very long time. He was a fine man, and I am sincerely sorry for your loss. There was not one single word in the Prime Minister's statement of condemnation of the Israeli destruction.
All right, since we watched the whole thing in full, now I want to add my thoughts because this is the point that George Galloway is making and a point that Iran made. I think I'll show you guys this on Saturday, the stream that is not allowed on YouTube, the forbidden stream, where Iran said it had a statement. And I might have to dig it up because this point that George Galloway, he's not making it by accident. George Galloway is very surgical in everything he's saying here, which is why I'm extremely impressed by him. Because the statement made by Iran was saying, he like, bro, we waited 13 days. Iran said, we waited 13 days just for you guys to condemn Israel. So you guys didn't condemn Israel? There was no statement for the UN Security Council. Since you guys didn't provide none of that, we then did our own deterrence, which is 100% the correct diplomatic way to go about it, correct? But anyway, let me continue. Now I can interrupt this since you guys see it in full, because there are a lot of things I have to say on this.
Of the Iranian consulate in Damascus, which is the proximate reason for the event everyone is here in concert condemning. He was not even asked to do so by the front bench opposite. Kay Burley is the only person so far to demand that of a government minister. We have no treaty with Israel, at least not one that Parliament has been shown. And the Iranians are not likely to listen to him. When Britain occupied Iran, looted its wealth, and overthrew its one democratic socialist government in my own lifetime.
This is another point I wanted to stop on, but when I let it play earlier. When have AOC and the Bernie and the Social Democrats in the United States ever called out the United States and the UK for illegally overthrowing governments? You want to know what Bernie's called Nicolas Maduro? Bernie Sanders said Nicolas Maduro was a tyrant because he had the audacity to oppose the CIA overthrowing his government. You're not hearing George Galloway say that shit. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I see nothing but praise from George Galloway to Maduro. He's not these social democrat scum that we have in the West.
Anytime we put our politicians up against people who are supposedly in their same ideological bucket, like social democrats and social democrat, it's always where the other country's better. For example, you always point this out with Brazil. Like, there's a lot of stuff. They're very socially conservative in Brazil. It's a very Catholic and very
they got a lot of black and brown evangelical
yes.
people who support them, but they are more religious. Just to expound on that, but finish your point, CJ.
Yeah, no, just to shit, I forget the point.
Yeah, the point you was making. Sorry, I fucked you up. The point you was making that left around the other countries put the United States to shame, and that was one of the things. Sorry, I fucked you up, but that was one of the things that woke me up as a social democrat in the United States. Remember, I used to think I was radical as fuck. I believe in Medicare for all. This is me in 2019. Think I'm radical as fuck, man. Then I talked to communists, I talked to socialists. I met Rome. I met Josana. I met a lot of people outside of the United States. And now I realized, oh my God, there's a reason why they consider us a joke. I thought they was assholes.